Right, hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me on the banks of the River Ribble and we're in search of dace and silvers. So as you can see on the screen now, the river this morning is a bit of a mess. We leave before the morning chart comes out on the EA site, so when we arrived on the river we were shocked to see it well up and fast. So as you can see on the screen now, there's plenty of water in the river and it is really pushing through. The other river that I do fish would have been unfishable today, but with the River Ribble being spate, you've always got a chance. So what we're going to do today is give it a go down the inside and see if we can pick up a fish or two. But with clear blue skies and no rain forecast, I expect this river to drop quite a bit during the day, so we've decided to fish it and give it a go. Let's take a look at the swim and what we're going to do. So the rod that we're going to go with today is the Preston Innovations 17-foot carbon active. It's going to give me that control over that float going down the margin. So with the river so high, you've got to be in control of the river. So the setup that we're starting off with is a 4 gram Dave Havel Bolo and an Olivet. I want that bait down in them bottom layers, and I feel like this going down the inside will have me in control of the river. And that's the most important thing. By in control of it, I mean that your float is either at that type of angle or like that. If your float is anything like that, then the river's in control of you. At that type of angle or that, you're in control of the river. And that's why we're going with such a heavy setup to start with. So looking at the swim, and as you can see, there's plenty of pace on the river. And there is good news. You've got to be positive when it's like this. The good news is that it is going to drop today. During today, you know, it's a clear day, it's a spate river, so there's no more rain going in, you would think. So hopefully during the day, if anything, it's going to drop a bit and maybe lose a bit of the pace. It's not going to be easy. Some vlogs are just about getting a lot of bites. You know, sometimes you catch 20-30 pound of fish. Some vlogs are about just getting 1 or 2 bites and on a hard day. But if you're going to have a hard day, what a beautiful day to do it. There's plenty of fish topping on this inside line, little small ones. So it says to me that what we thought at the start was right, you know, that the fish are going to move over. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of trots down the river, most definitely. I'm going to start feeding the maggots as a bit upstream of me, the hemp level, and yeah, hopefully target them on this line here. If we zoom in, you can see the difference in pace to there. And we just got to hope that we can draw a few fish in. So I'm going to make a start, and hopefully, you know, you'll see me with a fish shortly. The plan was to fish the whip, and with that I did bring some of the Mark Pollard supercharged ground bait. So I'm going to be really positive today. You know, when the river's like this, you need to, you know, make a statement, let the fish know that there's food coming in. So even early on, I'm going to feed just 2 big balls of that ground bait. So like you can see there, there's no messing about, and I'm not going to go too far out with it. Literally there, because that's the line we're going to be going down. And there, 2 big balls to start off with. You can see here would be normal banking. So yeah, I'm going to try and get the fish on this inside line, being positive. At the end of the day, you don't want to leave the bank today thinking, should I have done this? Leave knowing that you've tried your best. 20-30 minutes we've been trotting through, just putting the hemp in there, feeding the odd ball of ground bait every so many casts. I'm just sticking on this inside line. Anyone who's watched the blog before will remember I've said, you know, I split the river into lanes, the fast lane, the middle lane and the slow lane. And today we're definitely fishing the hard shoulder. So after about half an hour of trotting, just keeping the bait going in, feeding little balls of that ground bait at the first fish, and it's a perch. So yep, we've got the first fish of the day, which is a result. And that is what I love about river fishing. 1 minute you're trotting through thinking, will I get a bite? And then the next trot through, you hook into another fish. And that is the beauty of river fishing, how it can just turn like that, and why I love it. So with the conditions so bad, you just hope that you can get 1 or 2 bites. That's a bunch load of confidence for the rest of the day. And it's been around about 2 hours now since we set up, and you can already see how different the river is. We've only had, what, 3 fish in that first 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but you can see the white bubbles down there are still fast, but they're not on this section of the river anymore. And hopefully today, as this river drops, because it is dropping fast, at my feet there you can see my feet were actually in the water to begin with, so you can see it is dropping fast, and as it drops it's only getting clearer and more suitable for the fish. So I'm just going to change over from that 4-gram Bolo to maybe a dome top sticky, and then I can try and make that bait flutter up off the bottom, because it's definitely slowed down on this inside line now. And looks like a nice roach. And that is the best fish of the session so far, and just makes all the effort worthwhile. Hopefully now we can start getting a few bites as this river drops. They are coming now online with them bubbles down there that you can see. So hopefully, you know, a few days and that nice roach means that we're going to start getting a few bites. Beautiful day to be on the bank. So different than last week where it was raining all the time. And it's November and I'm sat in my t-shirt. How balmy is that? And the next trot down into another one. And it just shows the importance of keeping that feed going in. You know, when you're not getting a bite, you've just got to keep that bait going down the swim, because if you don't, then when they do arrive, there's nothing to draw them in. So in my opinion, this is only happening now because you're putting that bait in earlier on. So as you've seen there, I've been getting a few bites, and that sun over there is making putting the GoPro on my head difficult, but I'm just persevering away, putting the magnets in front of me, the hemp just a little bit down so it's got time to get on the bottom, and every so often just feeding those nuggets of ground bait. And just shows what a wonderful river the Ribble is. You can turn up in the morning and there's trees coming down, and in 2 or 3 hours you've got a bend in the rod. So what a lovely day that is, and at the start of today we could only hoped of getting as many bites as we are. It's hard to show what we're doing because of the sun, you know, putting the GoPro on my head, but we'll have a look now at how I'm feeding the swim. Fishing like this today, there's 2 things that are important. It's feeding and also being disciplined. So every trot through the swim, I'm putting some hemp in like that, right in line with the float, and a few maggots. It's really important to get consistency, you know, constant bait going through the swim rather than just chucking handfuls in. It's better to just keep little and often and build the swim that way. Every so many casts, just putting some of the ground bait in like that, just to add smell, colour, and just to try and attract fish in. And you can see there just where the line is, just how close in we've caught that fish. You see, when the river's up like this, these fish just push over the slacker side. As you can see over there, it's still pushing down the middle. And what these fish do, they want an easier life, especially the roach, and they push into this side. And that cold mist on the river this morning seems a long way away. Sat here with a t-shirt on, the sun on my back, and a handful of roach. One happy angler. So that's the second nice perch that we've had in 2 sessions. I'll put a link to the top of the screen to the last one. So maybe one of the times we come up here, we need to leave the stick float geared at home and bring the lures. But you just can't beat river fish for those lovely colours. And today we will definitely be staying out as late as we can, because I am in the proper doghouse. I bought this a couple of weeks ago and I tried to sneak it through the wash earlier this week. Well, the missus found it, didn't she? Which wasn't too bad till she asked the dreaded question, how much? When I replied that I'd paid £10 for the towel and it was only half a towel, she wasn't happy. So yeah, Danny is in the proper doghouse this week because he paid £10 for half a towel. So as the session's gone on and conditions have improved, you can see the fishing definitely has as well, and the quality, and getting one or two of these nice roach now, just coming after feeding, you know, big balls of that ground bait normally, but ticking it over with those little handfuls as well. We'll take a look at that ground bait now for those new to the channel, and we'll get this guy straight back. Ground bait that I'm using today, the supercharged Mark Pollard. Now if you have a look at it, it is a ground bait that smells of aniseed, and that's in keeping with all the Mark Pollard range, whether you use the polychrome or this. It's definitely got an aniseed flavour. Now they come in 1.5 kilo bags. As you can see there, it binds well, but it's loaded with hemp. I've not added any extra hemp to that mix today, just fed it like it comes out the bag. You can see, not riddled it or nothing, because obviously we're on a river and just wanted to get down the smell and the attraction, and that's what we're using. Let's a closer look at it. Great for roach, most definitely. And that is the size of the ball that I'm feeding periodically into the swim. You can see, nice big positive ball of ground bait. What a lovely roach to end the vlog on. Fin perfect, just coming over that hemp and that ground bait and feeding maggots over the top. I'm going to enjoy probably the last half an hour, 20 minutes of the session, and I'll catch us all at the end when we can look at the final net. The cows are coming home. Right, so the session does come to an end there now. Thoroughly enjoyed that last half an hour to an hour. Had plenty more bites and really enjoyed it. As you can see, we fished until last light. That sun's well over them trees now, and yeah, what an enjoyable session. And as you can see from the final net, plenty of bites, many more than I expected when we first started. This morning when we got on the bank and the river was such a mess, you know, you just got to be happy with a few bites. But I knew during the day from experience that the level would drop, and hopefully we'd get some of the day where we could get some bites. Hopefully this vlog just shows what you can catch when the river does look so bad, and if you learn those EA levels, you can get out there even when you think it's not right. I want to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. It'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and I'll catch us all next week. Tight lines.